1/3 of our generation is already dead. When coming upon this revelation, most people assume this is due to car crashes or gun violence or something upon those lines. But the truth of this mass killing is much darker than you could possibly imagine. It involves infants being ripped apart limb by limb in brutal fashion. And possibly the darkest part of all of this isn't being committed by some kind of foreign entity, a dangerous stranger on the streets. No, this genocide is being committed by our generation's own mothers. And it gets worse from there when you realize that despite how grotesque this action is and how much damage it has done to us, our generation, is when you realize that abortion continues to be the leading issue for a majority of female voters in the United States. There is nothing they care about more than the right to kill their own child. What does that say about us? What does that say about our culture? It says that we are selfish. It says that we put our own self interests first. It says that we do not have any appreciation for the gift that is life. It shows the increase in the sexual liberation of women. This all goes hand in hand here. A proper culture would never put up with such an action, especially when you consider that our country is at a significant risk of dropping below a birth rate where we do not continue to repopulate and our country eventually dies. And that goes for an entire race. Despite what a lot of people think, white people are the minority in the world. You look at the scale of everything, and we are not repopulating enough. And you know what we have in every single one of our countries? We have abortion rights. We have significant rights when it comes to preventing birth in general, whether that is birth control pills, contraception, all those different things. But abortion specifically is by far the most disgusting. I don't know how anybody could watch a video of a child being ripped apart and say they are okay with this. And the truth of the matter is, there's not even a real argument for it. The argument is purely that, oh, we want to do whatever we want all the time. Well, that doesn't work in society. We have laws for a reason. We outlaw that which is unrighteous. And when you have the vast majority of all biologists agree that life begins at conception, then there is no argument. There's no argument left. That is a human life. It doesn't matter what stage it's in, it's human at the moment of conception. It's not a dolphin in there. It's not a donkey in there. It's not a fucking elephant. No, it is a person. And we have to grant it its rights as a living being. We need to cherish the young. We need to protect those who are the most indefensible. They deserve a chance at life. They deserve the ability to prosper, the ability to assist in making our nation something to be proud of again. But we had that stripped away from us, and they wonder why our generation is so incredibly radical. I don't know, maybe because you killed a third of us before we even got the chance. And not only that, you continue pushing it as it's your most important issue, the right to kill. They're okay with you dead. That's what you need to learn from this. They have no issue with the removal of life because they put no value on life. You wonder why we have all this violence popping up everywhere, why political violence is at an increase? It's because they don't value human life, and it can be seen in abortion. Quite simply, it can be seen with abortion. They are, they have no issue with killing. They have no problem with it to the slightest. They are completely okay with the mass genocide of our people, and they will shove it in our faces. They have parades for this. They have abortion parties. It's disgusting. They celebrate it. They celebrate the sacrifice of their own children in order to grant their own personal freedoms for the rest of their life. What does it even mean to be free? Is freedom really the ability to kill whoever you want, even your own children? I don't think that's real freedom. Because when you have that form of freedom where violence and murder become acceptable and they become a core value in the culture, now you have the right to strip somebody else's freedom. And when you are taking freedom from somebody else and taking the ability to live away from somebody else, it is not freedom which you are practicing in. It is not human rights. No, it is sacrifice. It is child sacrifice. This is nothing new. All throughout history, humans have practiced forms of sacrifice. They have always had sacrificial rituals. And what is the goal of those always to be? It is to give up something in order to better their own state. Whether it is sacrificing a child to a weather god to ensure that their crops will grow properly that upcoming year, or whether it is sacrificing their child so that they can build a career for themselves, for that for so they can better themselves, get more money, not have to put the time, effort, and financials that it takes to raise a child. It's all child sacrifice. And this is the Democrats' number one issue, child sacrifice. It's disgusting. This is why we have to fight. This is why so many of us are so radical, because we're done with this. We will no longer allow for you to kill our brothers and sisters in God. It's it's over. We're fed up, and the fight starts here. The pushback is happening. We revoked Roe v. Wade, but there is still a lot of work to get done in order to ensure the generations which come after us do not go through the genocide which we experienced. Abortion needs to be outlawed at every state level. People like to make the argument, oh, we need to have all these different exceptions. No, we don't. If you believe in exceptions, then you don't believe in the value of the life. The only exception that should ever be made is if the mother's life is at danger. If she's at danger, her choice. I'll concede that. Her choice. She gets to choose who lives. But outside of that, absolutely not. We're not doing exceptions. A child should not pay for the sins of their father. A child should not pay for being unwanted. None of these are justifiable reasons to kill it, to murder it. We can't talk about this as abortion. We have to talk about it as murder because that is what it is. It is the killing of a human person, making it murder. And anybody and everybody who continues to commit such a vile act, they should be in prison for the rest of their lives. Because if you are so soulless where you are willing to kill your child, you are not somebody that I want in my nation. You are not one of my people. Turn away. Leave. We don't want you here. Very heated topic today. Got to get rid of abortion. Got to fight back. If you're interested in more conservative content like this, please like and subscribe. We are going to continue fighting, and every little bit helps more than you could ever know. Thank you so much for watching. Continue the fight out there. God bless y'all.